Man, probably a fun fact on me is that I like to read. Like I like to read. That's a lost art nowadays. Oh, my great uncle is Jesse Owens. He won 4 gold medals in 1936.
I always want to leave people with this, man, to all the viewers and everybody out there, man. Make sure you guys finish your story. Make sure you guys finish your journey because somebody's going to need it.
Yeah. All you got to do is push the back button. That's all you got to do. Push the back signal.
Try not to think about the future too much so you can maximize the now.
Who's your favorite rap artist?
Man, to be honest, it's crazy. Tupac always been my number one, right? Like he got me through so much stuff, but Lil Wayne has been in the modern day.
I said, what does it really take? What does it really take to be great, Drew? And he looked at me and he was like, you really want to know? And he was like, to be honest, everything you did to get here, you need to be consistent times 10.
Good evening, everybody out there doing it. It's your boy, Coach Lee, and welcome to Tuesday night, and it is time for some chop up. Otherwise, hopefully you had your tacos today, but you know how we do it. We always going to talk about food every time we in here doing our thing. Let's get the crew up in here tonight. We got somebody making a surprise appearance, man. He ain't been on with us for a while, but you know, he going to come in here doing this thing. He is the villain. What's up, man?
What's going on? It's been a fire day. The Blue Jays are playing. They're actually winning. I can't believe it. And, Coach, I believe I owe you something. Go Texas. Hook 'em horns, baby. Yeah, they beat up on the Musketeers back in the Sweet 16. I've owed you that for quite some time now. So I was like, when I hop up on the chop up today and we talk about all our stuff, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and own up to my deal.
Better late than never. It's all good, brother. It's all good.
Hey, but I'm a man of my word.
Yes, you are. But man, got a man of many words to bring up in here tonight. He always going to have some great feedback, insight, whatever it is. The man of many trades knows everything. Chill Will. What's up, man?
Taco Tuesday. Feeling bad with no tacos today, but I'm ready to chop it up though. I know that.
Absolutely, man.
How you doing, Jamie? Hey, is that Chris? Chris's birthday's today, right?
Happy birthday,
Chris.
Chris.
Happy birthday, brother.
42nd birthday, 41st, I think he said last
41st on the chop up day. Look at that.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
birthday.
Salute to you, brother. Salute to you.
Before we get carried on any further, I owe this to Will too as well.
Yes,
Celtics. This was a months waiting when the Celtics beat up on the Suns back when they still had Mikal Bridges. So, with that out of the way, I am officially caught up on all my ill-will bets.
Absolutely.
We are good, but now we might have to make a bet about the Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox series coming up soon, eh?
We'll figure that out by the end of the podcast.
Well, man,
Unc's in the building. What up, Unc?
What's up, Unc? Salute to you, baby.
You already know.
Howdy, Unc. What's up?
What you get into today, man?
Man, I broke down some stuff that that we got to throw in the dumpster.
And talking about work, man.
Yeah, work. Nothing fun. Nothing fun. I got the Celtics game on though. Down by 3 to the Sixers, about to go to half.
We only got about a week left in the season. Is that what I heard last?
Unc's right. We got like 2.
I know it's throwing me off, man. It's really be throwing me off.
Look. I'm sure Jamie will agree. One's enough.
Well, am I missing something in the dang comments already?
Nah, well, so it had it was the backdrop with all of our pictures. But there was 2 of you. You were next to yourself. You were beside yourself.
There ain't nothing wrong with 2 Jakes. You need 2 villains in a story to complete a task, right?
I guess.
Penguin, Joker, you got all of them.
But man,
how was your day, Coach?
Man, my day was long as you know what, man. I probably worked from 7:30 till I still ain't done.
Damn. No rest for the weary, huh?
No rest for the weary, man. Might have to call it an early night tonight and get up early to finish up. Got a big meeting tomorrow.
Uggs in here lit today. I like it. That's what's up.
Oh man.
So what we got for the chop up, man? How we chopping it up today?
Man, you know, I think we're getting we can't have a chop up. We don't talk about food, man.
I hear that. Also, in case anybody's wondering, what you should be, our fourth member, one of our founding members of this parlay, is he's doing his due diligence today on the court, man. He's coaching. Is he playing or coaching? Actually,
he's coaching.
He's coaching. He's coaching
the kids.
He's coaching the younglings, man. Yeah, exactly. This is the way. This is the way. He got to coach the younglings, taking care of our youth like he always is. That's why he's not here today. They sprung up a game on him, and while he pretended to be sad to not be here, I'm sure he's ecstatic to be coaching them young ones. So that's where Took is tonight.
Yep.
Back to the food.
Back to the
food.
So this is actually, it's good timing, man, because Good Friday is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
People can go back to eating like they normally eat, but other than that, a real big item between Ash Wednesday and Good Friday is them fish, some type of fish.
Right.
And normally that's when everybody start having all types of fish sandwiches. So tonight, my man Jiggity Jake, not from State Farm, is going to be letting us know what the top 3 fish sandwiches are tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. There ain't nothing like a good old fish sandwich during the Lenten season and everything. So the topic that I brought up, because you know what the funny thing was? I didn't even think about that, Coach. You're right. We are right in the perfect time of year to actually be talking about fish sandwiches. I don't know. That just came up in my head, and I was like, this is a good topic.
He ain't even really timing. He just liked fish sandwiches. I like that.
No, it just went. No, wait. You know what? There's just something about a good fish sandwich that makes your day so much better. I don't know why. And there's an honorable mention that I'm throwing in right away that some people would put in their top, and because the main part of the topic is that there's just too much, to go about wherever you go to, like big name places or whatever. So this is based off of where you think you can get a fish sandwich, restaurant, fast food quality that many of us would know because we're from different parts of the world, or different parts of the country, not the world. Honorable mention first up, though, that a lot of people may have in their tops is the McDonald's fish fillet. And now why I say it's an honorable mention, not in the top 3, is because they put way too much tartar sauce on their sandwiches. And you always got to take the bun off, scrape the stuff you don't want on, and keep the correct amount. But they get the honorable mention. But if they just knew how to not just and just gently put it on there, a nice layer.
Fashion versus functionality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I only
wanted
to get my honorable mention out there first, and I wanted to go to you two to hear your top 3s before I give mine.
Well, man,
I just felt the need to get my tartar sauce beef off my chest about McDonald's because I think they put too much on. But I'm ready to hear your guys' top 3.
So if we had did this a couple of years back, I would have had no idea what to say because I wasn't much of a fish guy. But then I moved down to Cape Cod, where you better like some fish or you're gonna be hungry some days. So one fish sandwich that I've had is at Chapin's. It's a restaurant actually on my block, right down the street. Chapin's restaurant. I'm sure they'll enjoy the shout out. They make a good fish sandwich. They make a couple good meals in there, but the fish sandwich is solid. That'd probably be my number 1. Number 2 would probably be I'd have to go with the McDonald's fish fillet. Again, not a big fish sandwich guy all the time, but I've had a few in my day, and that's probably number 2. And I don't even know if I got a number 3. Trying to think. You could drop some 2 while you at it, Coach, because I'm still thinking about my 3rd.
Well, I feel kind of bad because for me, don't judge. I'm a pretty big fan of the Filet-O-Fish, but I do tell them easy on the sauce when I order.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
But I would definitely put that one in my top 3. Another one that's kind of, I think it's a little underrated, the Arby's fish sandwich.
That's okay. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're right.
It's on my list, Coach.
I forgot about that with Arby's.
Yeah, it's got the right amount of the shredded iceberg lettuce on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's more fish than anything, so the fish is there. And then I would say my number 3, only because I don't get it that often, but when I do, it's serviceable. It's the Burger King Big Fish.
I hear a lot of bad about that one though.
Well, I only
Never
prefer
had
that one because of the consistency of the crust on it. Sometimes it does have a tendency to be a little soggy. But the Popeyes has so much flavor in it, especially the spicy one. But it's too big of a piece of fish.
Get one of them country fried steak styles.
Yeah, it's way too big for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably say the McDonald's, the Arby's, and the Burger King. But the Burger King is only by default.
Right.
Never had the Burger King one.
It's good, but sometimes, like Coach said, either you get a soggy, but for me, I like a nice crunch on my fish sandwich. So I already gave it away. Number 3 on the list is an Arby's fish sandwich. It's a really good sandwich. It tastes great. You get some places too that like to put too much of the crunch, not enough fish. You get too much breading instead of the actual meat of what you're trying to get out of the sandwich. But Arby's, I think, is just perfect. You get the iceberg lettuce with the tartar sauce all mixed together, get you a side of curly fries, and that's the best dang meal you're going to have all week. It's good. Number 2, pretty popular around here, the Frisch's Big Boy. You get 2 nice fillets of fish that are kind of looking like they're kind of in an egg roll. Put it on the burger, or they put it on the patty, some iceberg lettuce with the tartar sauce, bun. It's perfect. Each bite you take, you're at least getting a nice hunk of the fish with it. But
so you big on the iceberg, huh?
Oh,
you big on the iceberg.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I can tell.
But the thing is with that Frisch's, you got to get the combo because you get you a side of the onion rings. You got to get the onion rings with that sandwich.
Full clog artery.
Yeah, he breaking it down.
Because there ain't nothing like. Hold up, this is going to be a really dumb question, but this just shows how much I leave Cincinnati. Do you guys have Frisch's Big Boys in your areas?
Not mine.
No? Oh, man, it's so good. But, yeah, they are known for their onion rings. They big whole onions, breaded all it. Not Frisch's Big Boy. The mascots are a big child-looking figure holding up a burger like this.
Oh, we haven't had those in years.
If I know, Coach, you're about to do a full promo for Frisch right now.
Oh, absolutely. You throw up a picture and everything. I'm sure tons of people know what it is. Throw a picture of what the mascot looks like. There is nothing like.
Yeah, I remember them. They've been gone for a while from here, though. I didn't know they were still open.
Yeah, no, we got them all around Cincinnati. It's a local thing. We call it Frisch's Big Boy here, or Frisch's. And then when you get into Kentucky, you can't get no one to call it Frisch's. It's only, let's go to Big Boy. That's what it's called.
And that's what we knew it as.
Yeah. So, no, I love that. Now, this one might be cheap because I said a restaurant or wherever you can get it, and I don't think anybody really caught on to where you can get it. I absolutely love going to any church's fish fry and getting a fried fish sandwich from any local church fish fry. It's a nice little get together. You see some people you ain't seen in years. You sit down, have a conversation. When I was a kid, I loved going to one because all my friends were there because the parents would work so that the church didn't have to go and pay any outside people. I thought the fresh made fish sandwiches from a church's fish fry was absolutely second to none. Sit down, you get a whole meal. They got different stuff that's not just fish sandwiches, but I'm talking about fish sandwiches only. But you had a variety and you could get different stuff there. And a church fish fry is awesome.
It says the closest Frisch Big Boy to me is Columbus, Ohio. So.
Oh yeah, so yeah, come on down.
They ain't making it. If I'm going there, if you see me posting up at Frisch's, that means I'm going to visit Jake apparently because ain't nowhere near me.
Where's the closest Frisch's to you, Coach?
I think Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
But when I Googled it pulled up Columbus.
Yes, that's wild. That's the home base.
Man, you know what? That's crazy.
Cincinnati. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Got
Yeah,
to be
they're based out of
headquarters.
Cincinnati. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I don't know why. I thought I get mixed up because we got La Rosa's too, and La Rosa's Pizza is very like huge here because it was based here. I went to high school to where the owner went to school back in like the 50s or the 40s or something. And there's La Rosa's all around the tri-state area. And whenever I'd go somewhere, it'd be like when we finally go down and we hit Tennessee and I see a Bojangles, I'm like, hey, man, this place is great. Why don't they have it in Cincinnati? Oh, well, let's just go get a pizza. And I'm looking for a La Rosa's. There ain't no La Rosa's down there. It's back when I finally realized that there are just, food chains that are strictly in certain areas. And I'm like, crazy. But I do wish they'd get a Bojangles up in Cincinnati. I ain't going to lie. But, yeah, no, I thought Frisch's, just me being, illiterate here, I thought that, Frisch's was everywhere. But, it's Cincinnati-based, and finding it out, I thought, you guys are ever taking a trip to Ohio or Cincinnati, stop by and try
I'm going to have to now,
from there.
I'm starving now.
I haven't had it since I was a kid. I want to say the last time we had one here, I was probably still in school. It's been a minute.
Yeah, no, they got Frisch's just doesn't have a good fish sandwich. They got a nice open-faced roast beef sandwich. It's great. A good turkey dinner. Their breakfast bars are always stacked with any kind of breakfast food you want. They got those little bowls of cereal that you pick up and pour milk into and eat on the side. Pancakes. They're regular. Damn, girl. The regular freaking.
I'm weak.
I'm sorry. I heard a very loud belch. I'm sorry. I don't mean to embarrass you if you're on live, Jamie, but wow.
She brought the heat.
Right. Their lunch special run. So their breakfast runs from like when they open to 2:00 and they have a nice breakfast bar, but you want to get there before 12. Everything else is at 12 to 2. You kind of don't want that breakfast bar, but their lunch special from 2 to like 4, it's like half price food. And then you get the regular dinner items with the salad bar and all that stuff. It's a great place to go and eat if you need a cheap, quick meal. It's not bad. I love Frisch's. God damn it, now I'm hungry and I just ate dinner.
Well, no.
Freaking mouth watering.
That's good stuff, man.
But yeah, nice.
Jake hit us over the head with that.
Yeah, you did.
Now I'm hungry.
I gotta say that's always the result of Chop Up, though.
Yeah,
it's just you leave this show laughing and hungry.
Yep, because I just found a recipe recently for a salmon nugget po' boy. I think I'm going to try that out this weekend.
Oh boy, here we go.
Ooh, Coach, did I send you the picture of that pot roast I made for WrestleMania?
Yes.
Oh man, hey, that was great. The only thing that I would change about that pot roast though is that when you were making the gravy for it, when you get the pepperoncini peppers out, the recipe that I was watching said you dump the whole bottle of pepperoncinis in there, juice and all. I would not pour the juice in there. That's the only thing I'd change.
Mm-hmm.
And the change that I did make, I'm not a big fan of tomato. I hate tomato everything except for ketchup. I think sometimes depends. If I'm eating a hot dog, I'll get some ketchup and put some mayo on it, and I'm good. But tomato sauce in this dang gravy just seems so weird to me. So I switched it out with some Campbell's mushroom gravy, and it was fantastic. And yes, Will, we're going to skip over the fact that I just said I put mayo on hot dogs. Leave me alone.
Yeah, we're not gonna do
it. I totally missed that.
Yeah, I caught it, but I just was like, you know what? Not
mayo on a hot dog?
Not today.
Oh, it's the greatest. You ever seen the King of Queens? That's the reason I tried it.
I take your word for it, man.
I'm getting judged in the comments right now as we speak because I put.
You gotta be. That's outrageous.
No, it's not. Hey, you don't knock it till you try it because you're only saying that because you ain't tried it.
All right, that's cool. So, on the Chop Up, man, we just talk. We pay bills when we feel like paying bills. But we're going to keep it pushing tonight.
Okay.
Next up, we got my man Will. His topic, I'll let you introduce it, sir.
In light of me making a move, I didn't move very far. I just moved to an apartment upstairs in the building I was in. But in light of moving, I wanted to know what are people's favorite spots that they've lived at, or where would you like your favorite house that you lived in, or just like whatever it could be the town, it could be the house itself. Where are your favorite places that you lived? And my man Jesse was like, "Will you put mayo in your mac and cheese and hot dog?" Nah, dash of mayo in your mac and cheese. It adds something to it, but I don't know about the hot dog part.
Mayo in your mac and cheese? That man,
when you're
what's
making
really
it.
going on with the taste buds up north?
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I learned that from my aunt back in the day. She did it, and
Okay.
I don't do it. I won't do it with like Velveeta though. Don't mess with the Velveeta.
All right,
Velveeta's
so technically you have had hot dog with the mayo.
No, I think he made the hot dog part up to get at me.
I like it. To be honest with you, I've only lived realistically in one town my whole life. I've lived in St. Bernard, Ohio for practically my entire life. I moved out and out of this town for like 6 months, and it's when I moved into the apartment with my wife, at the time girlfriend, in Clifton over at UC's campus, and I hated it. Too many people, and I don't like being on campus either because it's just a weird, like, it's too hipster for me, and I'm not a hipster. I don't like none of that lifestyle or nothing. I think they're just a bunch of weirdos. But
get off my lawn.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to that point.
That's the second hippie drop in 2 days. Yo, hippies are getting dragged on this podcast.
Well, no, I don't know. They're just weirdos, man. I can't think of anything else besides using the word weirdo on them. I just can't get on it, man. But they can have fun wearing their clogs and their weird extra long earrings for no reason, and their long beards. Yeah, they're trying to make, dude. These hipsters are trying to make stuff that was cool in the like 70s, 80s cool again. Like this
fashionist though. Fashion the cycle.
What is this? This whole, what the fuck is it called? Mullets. Mullets ain't cool. They're weird. Go away with that. That was a 80s bowler thing. Stop stealing from the 80s. The 80s are done. They're gone. The only thing that was cool about the 80s was the music. Leave it alone.
That's the one thing that's the worst about the 80s.
The music's fine. It's a past.
It's all hair
it's
bands.
meant to be like that. You're not supposed to bring it back. Do you hear anybody playing 80s music now as a regular band? No. It's a national treasure. You hold on to it. But you don't bring it back and wear it.
Man, he just crapped on the 80s bad, man.
Everything. He's on a rampage.
He is.
Sorry.
He trying to earn that.
I went way off topic. Anyway,
he's trying to prohibition era.
he tried to earn that villain label.
My parents live 2 doors over from me right now. In the house I'm in, my parents are 2 doors over, and that's where I grew up when I was born and raised, and that is my favorite place I ever lived, even though we didn't have central AC. We put up them damn air conditioning units, and we were happy. We all crammed in my parents' room to make sure we stayed cool at night, and then we did whatever we did throughout the day. We grew up through it, and we made it through, and I love that house, and I'd move back in there in a heartbeat, even if I had to get my own AC units.
Mm-hmm.
But I absolutely hated living on college campus. But yeah, those are my 2 places I lived, and I would take that place over the place I'm in now in a heartbeat because this place sucks.
That's a good ass point. He's wearing the jersey from the 80s.
This is their alternative color.
And why but is it alternative? I'm pretty sure that's from the 80s. That color.
No. What they wore in the 90s had the big circle blue jay in the center. Nice try though.
That's the 90s. What about the 80s? I'm pretty sure that's the color and the style that they wore from the 80s. I'm pretty sure we can check that though. We'll fact check it because that's hilarious.
Hey,
Anywho,
Pete, what you got against the Blue Jays, bro?
Nothing.
Blue Jays didn't do nothing to you. Are you a Yankees fan? The only people that I know that hate on the Blue Jays are Yankees fans because we are a threat. Now with the Boston Red Sox, they don't care about us. The Rays, they don't care about us because the Rays are always good. The Orioles don't care about us because they're just getting good. The only people that worry about us are the Yankees. So you've got to be a Yankees fan.
And folks, that was a preview for our we haven't listed a date yet, but our upcoming baseball show that we're going to be doing. I don't know when it's dropping. I know. I was wondering if you saw that in the chat, but we'll be doing that soon. So for those of you wondering why we haven't done a baseball show, well, it's coming.
It's on its way.
Pull that up, Jamie. Now here we got pull it up.
I went and got me a damn board so I can write all the stats and stuff. So I got my stuff to say. Like you guys said the stuff about the MLB thing. I'm like, I'm loading the fuck up, bro.
Oh God. He's ready.
I know we'll never get an NHL podcast on here, so I will take full advantage of baseball.
Never say
never. I'm gonna say never say never because I love me some hockey. But Oh, that's why he's an Orioles fan. Let's all take time to just feel bad for him.
I mean, they got Gunnar Henderson coming up. There's another
Not
guy.
the
They
base.
just got Jackson Holiday. So they got some good guys coming up in these farm systems, but they're young. They ain't playing yet. Well, Gunnar Henderson might be playing now, but Orioles had a good run at the end of last season, but they still missed the playoffs.
Right.
Unleashed. Baseball unleashed. He's ready.
Plus, remember, it's the
He's
Baltimore
full
Orioles. I like nothing about it.
Yeah. I can see we're gonna see clearly who's gonna be leading that show. Anywho, yeah. So you got a favorite place that you lived at, Mr. Coach, sir?
Favorite place I've lived at. I've only lived in essentially 2 areas my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
The Dallas area and South Texas for 5 years.
How did you spell my name?
That's hilarious, actually.
Jacob. J-A-K-U-B.
Is that country twang that she's trying to put out on me?
Jacob.
Jacob.
She's just mad.
But if I have to say, as far as like just the atmosphere, there's no place like home. But from a food perspective, South Texas put it on me, man.
Yeah.
I went down there and it was a culinary shock. I didn't know what was what. I needed a freaking instructions for everything that I was eating because it was all new to me. So yeah, food was great there. But when it's all said and done, I'll be somewhere on the tractor or either a tractor on my porch, minding my own business, tending to my folks.
I can dig it. Let me see. Let's play some of these comments to us. Jamie, when I lived with my aunt and uncle in Indiana in high school, we lived right on the river, and it was so peaceful and beautiful. Never wanted to stay inside. Yeah, that sounds like.
And it's a damn shame they sold and left that place. I got to go there like twice. It was beautiful. It really was. The only thing that sucks is when that river flooded, it got right up to their house. So it was like, oh shit! Like you couldn't leave your house too far up. It'd be like one of those old school movies where you see the guys that are out on those rafts just to the street.
Yeah, like that river's. We got waterfront property now, not in water property.
Yeah, there was flood insurance or something they had to get. I think it was called that. So
I live on the Cape and we live close to the beach. We got flood insurance here too because the water levels have a rise.
I bet you're happy you moved up top then.
Yeah, I'll be able to watch.
Got up an extra floor.
Watch my neighbors drown. Anywho, yeah, man. So I've only ever lived in the Boston area, Massachusetts area. I'd say my favorite house to live in was my grandmother's house. Our whole family off and on grew up in that house. It was in a small town called Brighton. It's actually the same town that Tuquan's originally from. Yeah, it's a college town, but it's also residential as well. A lot of stuff goes on. Just there's certain pockets that are quiet, but a lot of it is just like it's upbeat, up tempo. Train tracks right there that are run through the city. The B line. It's a nice little town, man. A lot of good hoopers came out of that city, the city of Brighton. And but my grandmother had a beautiful house, pool in the back. She put up a little hoop for me to hoop my brains out. I love that place, man. It was great. In terms of town, I love that town, but I also love Mattapan and Dorchester when I lived in those 2 towns. That's the hood. And I got just so many memories and so much growing up done in those areas and the people, all different types of people. It's just, it's been great. And now I live on the Cape. The Cape's cool, but I wouldn't put it top 2.
Fresh fish every day, though.
If I so please, I can go to any market or any one of these restaurants, and I can be certain that they got that fish recently.
I've always wondered about that in like towns that are like super close to be able to catch fresh fish like that. Do they literally just have regular old markets? You just go up, they got fish on the ice, you pay and take type of deal?
Like a wet market. I'm sure there is. It's not as prevalent as you would think they would be, considering we're damn near in the ocean. because it's like a peninsula, like where we live.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's not as much as you think, but they do have markets like that.
I was just wondering because I feel like I saw something like they got something like that the Findlay Market down in Cincinnati, but we don't live nowhere near where you'd want to eat fish. Right. But
wherever you live, it had to travel. Yeah,
exactly. Being from over there, I'd be like, that'd be pretty cool just to take a trip over there just to see what that's all about.
Anthony says the wharfs in DC. Let me pull some more. I'm supposed to be doing the messages today, and I'm not doing a good job.
I've been wondering. I normally feed off the comments, and I got to keep going back and looking like that's cool.
Yeah. Well, because the last couple of times we've been on, me and Took have been fighting each other on the comments. So like, I'll click one, and he'll click it, and it'll go away, and we did nothing. Let me see. Missed school for a week because of the flood. The driveway was downhill from the main road, and there was no way out other than the boat. Man, Boston they made us boat to school if that's the case.
My wife's uncle and aunt, I never saw it firsthand, but I saw it get pretty close.
Yeah.
So they live down close, next to Corpus Christi,
Okay.
across the bridge from it. And they have no drainage, obviously, because they're so close to the coast down there. Whenever it rains, it gets pretty bad. Well, it's a couple of times where it got so bad there where they had to actually come down with boats and everything, to get people out of the houses or whatever the case may be. Or if it wasn't too bad but flooded, they use it, to go to the store if they had to.
You're taking the bus to school, you're taking the boat to school.
Yeah, I mean, hey. That sounds fun though. Yeah, so it's all good though. But yeah, I don't know why. I moved. Like I said, I moved recently. That's why I came up with the topic. But I just like to hear people where people lived and where they traveled and stuff like that. And it's fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty boring in that aspect. I'm a homebody.
I think we found out that all three of us are.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I ain't leaving, and there ain't nothing wrong with this little town I live in. Why not?
I would agree. I would agree.
Y'all ready for the first break for the night?
Man, we could break up.
Absolutely. Check up on this score.
47-53. Celtics down by 6.
Well, we're going to be back in about 15, 20. Hold on to your butts. Appreciate you.
What's up, guys? It's Mike Larimore here. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to STWF Media for all of the love and the positivity they've been sending my way recently. We partnered up, you know what I'm saying? I just like the energy the guys bring over there. So any sports talk, you want to talk football, you want to talk baseball, they might even talk bowling if you're interested. Boxing, whatever your thing is, man. Go check them out. There's a lot of great coverage over there. Again, it's nothing but positive energy from these guys. Go check them out. Peace.
Jamie out here spilling the tea. Look at that.
And Jamie,
I love it.
After me and you watching Manifest, I ain't never getting on a plane again.
Oh boy, scared himself stiff.
I ain't gonna get on a plane and come back 5 years later. Fuck that.
I'd love that actually. Aside from my family being stressed out,
you come back. You wouldn't have no place to live. Your cell phone ain't got no service on it. Your team might have won a world championship and you weren't there to see it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff you'd miss.
I can live with all that just to see what happens.
You might lose your job.
You definitely lose a job. You're pronounced dead, dude. You lose everything.
Exactly. I wouldn't have shit. I'd come back. I mean, it's wild. That thing started off so damn heavy too because they come back and the girl and the brother's mom was dead. I'm like, man, I can't get into this. Why am I watching this? And then I watched the entire first season. I'm like, I got to get more.
The only reason why I didn't watch that is because it's a direct ripoff of like 3 different shows that tried that already. So the 4400 did this exact same thing, but in a different way. They basically had over a span of time, like 4,400 people disappeared, and they all came back basically at once out of this one lake. Fringe opening scene is basically this, only a little different. And then there's another one that did people disappear and they came back on a plane. So that's the only reason why I didn't watch it. But
Lost.
Oh yeah, Lost. That's another one. Yeah. I'm telling you, it is a carbon copy. Like I swear, they run out of ideas up there.
You know, they told me that the 4400, but guys at work said 4400 was really good. That I should give that a chance.
The problem is just be ready for disappointment because they got canceled and didn't know it was coming, so they didn't get to
really?
end it. They didn't get
There's
to
no
end it.
finish.
No, and in fact, they end in a way where you're dying for more, and they're like, "Nope, we're done. Sorry, guys."
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? Oh, I had a thought and I lost it. Oh, I get this wasn't it, but I remembered. Jamie said no planes, just trains. After all these train derailments, I'm good on trains too now.
Yeah, you're safer in a plane at this point.
But I'm trying to remember. I wasn't that big into The Walking Dead. A lot of people liked it, but me, I'm just not a zombie guy or things that are zombie-like. But I did watch 28 Days Later, and I thought the beginning of The Walking Dead and the beginning of 28 Days Later were eerily similar. Guy waking up in the hospital, coming up out the bed, walking up, everything's deserted. It's shit's great. It's like it's the same damn beginning here.
Well, to be fair, I don't really know how else you start a zombie apocalypse show or movie, but yeah, they're similar. Very different type of zombies though in those two. Those are two of my favorites. But man, you said no planes and no trains. You're gonna be The Walking Dead because you have to walk everywhere, bro.
I'm cool driving a car. I just told Jamie it better be within 30 minutes. You want to take a vacation, it better be 30 minutes away because I'm willing to drive you that far. I don't like driving, and the worst part is
you don't like going places. Period.
She don't drive. I'm willing to drive 30 minutes. That's it. I'm like, if you want to go somewhere, it better be 30 minutes away because I hate driving. I hate driving.
Man, the family drove. Yeah, the family drove down south.
It was on the application of being my girlfriend. It was literally
nowhere.
It was literally on the application of being my girlfriend, soon to be wife, must drive. She said, "Yeah, not answering that," and I fell for it. She's lucky she's beautiful.
You guys are trouble, absolute trouble.
We're a fun couple sometimes. You should see us argue.
You sound fun. Sounds like she put up with a lot.
No, you see, my vacations are cheap and basic because we barely do them. And the one time we did do them, I flew to South Carolina and I hated it. Not the trip. The trip was great. It was the flying that pissed me off. It's just so stressful because you got to get to a gate at a certain time. You got to run, make sure you ain't losing.
Oh, it's not the actual process of flying.
Yeah, I could not be a professional athlete.
What? Jake turned into this 70-year-old man since last time.
If the also somebody hit the rant button on him today, like it's crazy. But I think you couldn't hear.
Crazy kids.
Get off my lawn. So you said like it's the process. Then you would be able to be a professional athlete. I once took a trip with the Red Sox. They do TSA at the stadium before they even leave the park. And then we hopped on a bus. Bus drove onto the tarmac, right onto the plane, gone. None of the other extra bullshit. None of that. It's quick for the athletes. They don't have to do none of that.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah, it's smooth, but you still got to fly, bro. Also, the first time I ever had Chick-fil-A was on that flight. Unbelievable. I didn't want to get off the plane. Like
the first time you had Chick-fil-A?
First time because they didn't have them up here in Boston or on the coast. They only had
them. Hey, Top Gun for life. You're absolutely right. I would make that drive.
What's the deal with Airplane Peanut? You know, that's a bit. That's a bit. He's a fool.
He sound like Seinfeld there.
That's what it is. That's why he did it. He's a humongous Seinfeld fan.
Already. Much love to you, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Like first, so that flight, I got on a flight with the players going to Kansas City for a 4-game homestand, away stand for us, but homestand for the Royals. And first time and they gave us the bottle of wine when we got off.
That's top notch.
It was crazy. So we could order as much wine as we wanted while we were on it. I was floored. But I was eating them chicken sandwiches too. And then when we got off the plane, whatever you didn't finish and a fresh bottle off the plane. I was like, yes, this is crazy. I didn't want to get off the plane.
So what do you mean like they did TSA at the stadium? Like they
had
all the regular stuff?
They had the agents who do TSA come to the Fenway Park and they bang out the bag checkouts. everything right there, and then they follow you. You're on the bus, and they follow you to make sure you don't do anything else. Onto the tarmac, you skip the whole airport, right onto the plane, get the hell out of Dodge.
That's nice.
It's so convenient. And while they're doing TSA, you can fuck off and do whatever you want. We were all like, we gave our bags and shit, and then we went and got food, and then came back right at the end, and they give you the quick pat down, good to go. One metal detector, you're out of here.
Still figure it's got to be a little bit different, especially for the Blue Jays since they're coming from out of country. So it's got to be a little different with that.
There might be a little bit of a customs thing, but again, it's a. Well, we didn't say what team you were gonna play for. Like, you got.
Yeah.
Only Jake. That's great.
Hey, I just let you know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's not wrong. It's not that far from Fenway to the airport.
So, chop up. It can be anything and everything. Whatever y'all talk about, we don't mind talking about it. So, I guess it's my turn, huh?
Sounds like it.
Well, I don't know, since Jake pretty much told us that the 80s sucked.
I didn't say the 80s sucked. I said the fashion sucked.
Actually, I think your exact words were everything but the music. And if anybody wants to rewind,
I like the 70s. I like the 70s, and the 90s were cool. It's just the 80s were,
You're not making the case better, Jake. Just so you're clear.
Too much love. I like dark, depressing shit.
Oh man.
Well, having grown up in the 80s, I was glad I was able to grow up in the 80s.
Being born
quite a
in the
bit
80s.
of change.
Yeah.
We saw, everything go from, I remember having a black and white TV as a kid. Oh, yeah. Went from black and white to color. I remember when there's only 3 channels. After about midnight, the American anthem would come on, the eagle would soar through the sky, or the jet would take off, and the TV would just go off. People went to bed or whatever case you did. But big thing of the 80s, video games.
Yeah. It's like the birth, the beginning.
That's
Did you have
when.
Pong? Did you have Pong?
I did have Pong.
That's
Actually, my son and I was laughing about that not too long ago. It just shows the evolution of society and the way the brain thinks, or the perceived intelligence level. Pong was the first one. Then they came out with Pong and tennis. You just switch the button. It's the same game.
Same game. Yeah. But the background turned from black to green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they sold a bunch of those. And we bought it. So, yeah. So, video games. So, before we get into the listing, what's some of the game systems y'all had growing up?
I grew up on, my very first system was, I believe, a Sega.
Okay.
Sega Genesis.
Okay.
I did actually, kind of lying. I did have Pong, but Pong wasn't mine. Pong was something that either my aunt or my mother had, and then it just stayed in my grandmother's house in the basement, and I found it. And I played Pong, and then having played video games at my friend's house and stuff, and then playing Pong, I was like, all right, I need a system. And I got Sega Genesis. I think I played Sega for a while. I think my next system was PS1, I believe. PS1 was unbelievable. It changed everything.
Change the game.
Yeah, literally changed the game in the gaming world. I did play some Atari at my friend's house, but I never had an Atari. Atari was crazy. Atari had a million games, it felt like.
And
the worst game was E.T.
So the worst game?
Worst game ever was E.T.
That's hilarious. They had this downhill skiing Olympic game that was wild on Atari.
You guys might be able to help me out. I remember mine, but I want to know what this game system was because I was thinking about it. My brother, his first game system, it had a rectangular controller. It had the regular up, down, over, and over, and 2 buttons on the right. It might have been an SNES.
That's a Nintendo. Yeah.
A Nintendo. It was a rectangular ass controller.
Yep.
It looked cool, but my first game system I had was a Dreamcast.
Game changer.
I love that thing.
Yeah,
Dreamcast was fantastic.
That was the next generation. Like we were getting into.
Yeah, I just never understood the idea of the controller with the cord being at the bottom, the memory card going into the controller.
Yeah, the memory card at the top of the controller. Well, also they had the memory cards that like you could see stuff on the memory card itself.
Yeah, but it never like functionality wise worked.
No, not yeah. They like later on they made some better ones that could. But
it was so originally I believe that was made for my favorite game of all time, Sonic Adventure. Yeah. It was meant so you could stick it in there, transfer data to your Chow garden, and then you pull it out and you'd be able to mess with your Chows on that certain clip. Yeah. And then you could load it back in and then play with them on the TV screen.
That was the same era as the Gigapets, which is why they got the idea.
So I absolutely love the Dreamcast, and then I graduated onto the GameCube. Remember, there's a huge age gap here. I'm 27, so the game systems that I got.
The minute you said Dreamcast, everyone learned that.
Yes.
Yeah. I was a grown ass man when that came out.
So like I was a teenager, yeah.
I don't remember what we did with the Dreamcast. Either stopped working or we got rid of it and I got the GameCube. Shortly after that, and I realized how much fun the PlayStation 2 was, I started to grow up. I traded in my PlayStation to get the PS2 Slim when it first came out. But other than that, I think those are great and everything. But I love handhelds more than anything. And my very first handheld was a Game Boy Advance, the not the color and the Game Boy. Yeah. It was that whatever one that was like this that had no light.
It was the size of a sidekick.
Yeah. And you had to get the adapter with the light on top of it so you could see it. And then I moved on to an SP and a DS, which is why when the Switch came out, I was like overly excited because I have a handheld and something I could put up on the screen. It was wild.
Yeah, it was the best of both worlds for you.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Now, I got a little hilarious thing to add here, and I want to know if Coach knows about it. I heard the absolute worst gaming system that was ever released was called a Virtual Boy.
Huh. I would say Sega CD. That's terrible.
That was terrible.
That's a bad system, Sega CD.
That is a Jaguar.
Oh, the Jaguar. I didn't even get to play a Jaguar. It was so bad. Like it came out and then people were like, yo, this is horrible. And then no one had it.
It didn't last very long at all. That and the Neo Geo.
Ooh. Neo Geo. He said, look at this. That's crazy. I had a Virtual Boy, migraine included. Migraine inducing hell. That's great. Why? What the hell was it? What was the Virtual Boy? What was the problem with it? I don't understand.
Coach, can you pull up a photo for me of him?
Yeah, we gotta see that.
So it was on a tripod, and it was like
I'm not liking it already.
It was a binocular. It kind of felt like binoculars, and it had a controller on the bottom. And it was like, you remember when you went to the eye doctor and you had to put your eyes up and check? That's pretty much what it was. And you looked in, it was supposed to be virtual reality, but it was the furthest thing from it. Like he said, I heard it gave out people headaches because the screen, when you looked in it, there was no color. It was bright ass red. It was red and black. That's all you saw.
What the hell?
I was about to say, show Will that picture. It's weird, man.
Oh,
it was that controller. You put your eyes up to that, and that was it. And all you saw was red.
And what kind of games did they have for this goddamn thing?
Isn't it a Sega product?
That is horrible. My Lord.
I've never seen this before.
No, me neither. I knew nothing about this.
Man, Coach, I swear to God, I thought you'd know about this system.
Is that a BlackBerry ad on the screen?
Actually, it was Nintendo.
Oh wow.
The VR 32.
That's crazy.
Like no lie, when I was looking at like the list of the worst game systems ever, that was it.
It was unveiled at the CES in 1995. I was in college. I was broke as hell. That's why I don't know about it.
Fair enough.
The red rings of death on the Xbox. Yep.
Yeah. Got me once. Actually, got me twice.
It got everybody multiple times if you was really doing your thing.
What was that? Just some kind of a virus, or was it like something?
Nah, it was from what I know, it was a soldering issue. Basically, the system got so hot that the soldering would melt off and the piece would fall, and that's how you got it.
Gotcha. I got the.
That's why anyone with the rings of death, if you shook it, you could hear it in there. You could hear it clinking around.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I got it.
I got the yellow light of death on the PlayStation 3, I believe. It was the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4. You had to get it sent in, and they'd have to completely wipe your system and add a new something. I think it might have been a hard drive. And then they'd send it back to you, and you'd have a complete fresh system, but all you'd have to do is log back into your account, and you were good to go.
Yeah,
but it was like paying for a brand new system anyway, so you were better off just going out and buying
a new one. Yeah.
The repair was the same cost. It was that expensive?
It might have been.
It's not exactly like it's close. It's basically like what happens when the bulb or the backlight of your flash screen goes out. They tell you we can fix it, but at that price, you just might as well spend a couple extra bucks and get the whole new TV.
Right. Fair enough.
All right, listen, AP, I was not calling Coach old, but I know how old he is, so I figured that he would know what the game system is. Stop trying to get me in trouble with my boss, bro.
So a couple of them that actually came on here, it was some good ones on here. So we're just gonna blow through a few of them real fast. We talked about the Jaguar. They actually came in number 24. It came out in 1993. And it was cost $249.
Shut up! Why do you keep putting these comments up, Will?
Because it's hilarious. She's a fucking riot.
See, look, I come on here to have a good time. Instead, I get fried.
Yeah, listen.
So I had mentioned this one. Let me see if I can bring a picture of it up here. It's actually the Intellivision.
Well, now
this was the first system that I played where it had a plethora of sporting games on it.
Okay,
and they at least resembled the game.
Were they like 8-bit? Like little? Yeah, it looks that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Intellivision, my lord, that's wild.
Had a lot of fun with that system.
I think I feel like that system looks like the system that I played Pong on. Was Pong on that? Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it was. The ColecoVision, it ranked at number 19. That was the first one I played that actually had Zaxxon and Donkey Kong on it.
ColecoVision.
And they said that actually was the inspiration for the NES.
I've only heard stories. Never even seen one.
The Neo Geo, the SNK Neo Geo came out in 1990 for $200. 330 megabit game cards.
You can't put nothing on that. That's crazy.
The Atari 2600 that came out in 77. One of the greatest ones of all time.
Yeah, the Atari was huge. I never had one. I wasn't in the games yet, but I played one at my friend's house. It was kind of what started me liking video games.
Yeah, I never owned one. I was at cousins or friends that had it. I think the first game system that I actually owned was made by Texas Instruments.
Oh,
and
boy.
I got that game because my aunt worked there at the time.
That's crazy. Did they come with a calculator? I mean, that's actually, the low hanging fruit of a joke.
If I remember correctly, I remember correctly, I think it had like a what did it have on there? It kind of looked like almost like a PC kind of sort of. Had like keyboard functionality and stuff like that.
Right.
But it took a cart.
That's wild.
So next, right on these next games, it kind of gets in y'all's era.
Mm-hmm.
Number 15, the Nintendo GameCube from 2001.
GameCube was crazy. I never had one, but I played plenty at my friend's house. Star Fox for days. Yeah, it was a good system.
This is when my son came on. He's an avid gamer, but this was kind of when he came on the scene. Is with the GameCube.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 came in number 14.
What? All right,
Yeah.
I guess. I understand. I know why.
It's not the PlayStation 2. That's why.
It's not the PlayStation 1 either. One, I suspect two sold more, but I suspect one might be higher than 2, unless they're going purely on sales. I would say 1 because 1 changed everything.
I think based on popularity and game catalog,
It's going to be
PS2 will
2.
be above it.
It's going to be 2, yeah.
And to say, you sure it's the 80s? I never heard of these games. N64 at number 13. I think that's kind of too low for the 64.
That's way too low. That game, that GoldenEye and Raw.
Just for that alone.
GoldenEye alone. GoldenEye, whatchamacallit? Raw. Yeah, just it's too.
Legend of Zelda.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario
right.
Kart.
Yeah.
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros.
Yep. Number 12, the Xbox One for 2013.
Not even top 10. That's what you get, you Xbox people.
What you got against Xbox, man?
Vitriol. Trust me, you'll see. It'll come out when we get higher on the list.
Hold on, wait. Like, what? When was this released? This what you're looking at?
It looks like it was released in
1982. No, I'm kidding.
2020.
2020. Okay, so this has got game systems all the way up to 2020 on here.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, the Switch better be in the top 10 or I'll freak out.
Start freaking.
The regular Xbox number 11 from 2001.
Not top 10.
Will's loving
people. Oh, this is the happiest day.
This one I think is kind of low too on the totem pole. The number 10 is the Nintendo Wii from 2006.
That system was so groundbreaking because of just how Wii Sports operated.
Yeah.
Yes.
But keyword is breaking, as in you were gonna break mad shit in your house. In the
directions said you wear the wrist brace.
Yeah, directions say a lot of things.
Or you could actually start a real fight if you did freaking Wii Sports boxing. You could really start a fight with someone on that on accident.
Yeah, the problem with Wii is functionality was great, but the games were just they lacked. I mean, you could have a lot of fun with the games, but they could have did so much more with it.
They were mid, like they could have taken such a.
Oh, I love Wii Sports was where you went with it, but then it died down. And you got to have more. You got to have more than just the Wii Sports.
The thing that had the most like promise that they could have had was the Call of Duty versions of the Wii.
Right.
But the thing was the gun attachment and with like you said, functionality. It was cool for some games, but for that game in particular, it just didn't work because you had that little bar that you had to aim for to keep it lined up with.
Right.
It was crazy. I mean, it was a cool system, definitely for the time, but it definitely wore out its welcome after a year. And it was more of like a gag game, like you bring out with your friends come over and you throw out Wii Sports. And
fair enough.
You hit a bowling game or you box your best friend or something.
Also, no one talks about the fact that it was kind of a system to shut up some critics because they made it a big reason why they made it was because people were starting the video game community was taking flack for being lazy, this, that, and the other. And they're like, all right, we'll make a system to get people off the couch. But because of that, they didn't put a lot into it. So Wii bowling was amazing.
100%.
But you could definitely smash your TV. It required too much space.
They told you to wear a wrist brace, Will.
It doesn't matter. Shit happens.
A little string break.
Number 9 from 1998, the Sega Dreamcast.
Great system though. Power Stone alone, my God. Shenmue, crazy.
Again, that's
top
still
selling hardware and went to software, right?
I think so.
And the thing that sucked about it is you could mod the Dreamcast.
Yeah. You can get the super like Super Dreamcast or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. You can get like every game on it. Yeah, I love the mods. The modcast.
It still has my favorite game of all time. Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast is by far still my favorite game.
That was the
I've
first
ever played.
That was the first 3D Sonic, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was my favorite of all time, but that was not the very first video game I ever played. The very first video game I ever played was on a Sega Genesis. My uncle had it out in Indiana. I go out and play all the time, and I don't remember. It was either Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game on Sega. Both great games, though.
My aunt told me the key to beating Sonic, all Sonics. Just never go back for rings. Never worry about the rings. Just get it done.
Run.
Yep, get them done. That's number 8. Number 8, right?
8. From 2017, the Nintendo Switch.
It's good.
Too low for you, Jake?
Nah, that's good. He's lucky to be in
the top 10.
No,
it's perfect. I just want it in the top 10 because I don't think it deserves to be in the top 5 just because it's still fresh, still new. There's still some buggy features. Like the most recent Pokemon game came out. They literally told everybody, play it handheld. It's meant for handheld. You're going to get a lot better functionality from than playing it on the TV. It won't work the way that you're expecting it. I'm like, if you have a system that can be a handheld / and TV, you need to make sure that it's playable for both. So they're still working out some kinks within the system, but I love it so far. They came out with their own version of Switch Sports. It's not as good as Wii Sports, but it's still fun and brings back nostalgic memories. And I've had fun with it. I like being able to play the Kirby games because I love Kirby as a kid. All the Mario games, Mario Party Kart, they're all classics that go good with the Switch. It's just an all-around fun system that you can pop out for any occasion. You can be an adult, play it, buy it for your kids, and they'll love it. It's a great system. I'm glad it's in the top 10.
Good system. I haven't played a lot, but I hear good things.
I like it. It made me get into gaming again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Before I just play the same titles.
Right.
It helps get me out of my comfort zone because I play sports games only. So when I got the Switch, I don't play just sports games.
Yep. That part right there.
Makes sense.
Number 7 from 1994, the PlayStation.
7. At least it's the head of all this Xbox bullshit. Except for like one of the Xboxes is gonna be ahead, but
PlayStation 1 should be top 5.
It gotta be. It changed the game, but I'll take it. I'll take it where it's at. It's good. It's because
they're still competing with the 360 though, Will.
Yeah, I know. Popularity, some of these other ones are pretty high. So anybody ever did the trick with the PlayStation where if you load the game up and you're playing the game and you open the tray and throw a music CD in and you can play that game.
Yep.
Listening to the music you wanted to play.
Yep.
That's a fun little hack. But you had to switch back if it had a loading screen again because for obvious reasons.
Right.
Couldn't play no dang wrestling game on that then.
The match. But once the match ends, you got to switch back.
Number 6, 1983, the NES.
NES is a game changer. It's one of those systems that it blew everything out of the water when it dropped. Didn't have a lot of competition, really, right? Like everything.
Not at that point in time.
Everything before it was
kind of on the decline.
Atari, ColecoVision, all that stuff.
Yeah.
AP, you look like an Xbox guy.
Disrespectful. Listen.
The hell are you? Is this the new Kawan?
I know he's on your back today. I love it.
Number 5 from 2013, the PlayStation 4.
PS4.
You said number
it's
5?
Top 5. Wow.
Number 5.
Wow.
It was another good system, but it also has some quirky things about it that would easily come up that you need to get fixed cosmetically.
I would not have put PS4 on a list wise ahead of PS1. I would not.
I mean, the only reason that it would be is just because it's got internet capabilities that are better than the one.
Yeah, understood. But
other than that, I still think the PlayStation 1. I still think the PlayStation 1's game catalog is stellar compared to what the PlayStation 4 was, just because of how groundbreaking the one was.
Yeah, my stance on that is purely about groundbreaking. That's it. Because it changed everything. Obviously, everything else. I mean, game titles is a big thing, but most of the game titles carried over to 4, and then they had a bunch more exclusive titles that one didn't have. So obviously, and it obviously looks better. Everything smoother and cleaner. But
you want to throw down on Mario Kart? Let's go. Top Gun for life.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I'll show you what's up.
We got to get
With
it.
that green-
We got to get some tournaments or something going on. And
Oh, I'm down. That's saying I don't know nothing about Mario. Bro, that was my childhood.
Coming in at number 4 from 1988, Sega Genesis.
Sega top 5. I respect that. I love it. Sega had some crazy titles. It was just a great system.
Golden Axe was a shit.
Yes.
Yeah, some of the
yes.
had the. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it still had the best NHL game of all time, NHL '94.
NHL 94. Yep. Unbelievable. The same deke come across the key, come across the goalie, easy score every time, nonstop.
You know what else they were sweet at too?
Rocket Ishmael. What?
I think they were the first console to come out with the 6-button controller.
Yeah, that's true. Sega controller was weird, but it worked. Like a half moon type situation they had going on. Like
yeah, the ones that it came with, they were pretty big.
Yeah.
But you can buy like a smaller version of it.
Right.
The 6-button was definitely a smaller version of it.
Yeah.
And that was the best one to use when you're playing Live 95.
I think the only thing that I never really got through with the Sega controllers because I'm 27. That's kind of the age gap's there, but I was still used to a controller with an analog stick on it. That when I would go out to Indiana to visit my grandma and my uncle, that Sega controller was so weird because I didn't have an analog stick and I had to make sure I was hitting the right, movement buttons. It was crazy sometimes.
First world problems.
Yeah, I know, right? Number 3.
I'm sorry, Coach. You know what else Sega had that was really good? That old Ren and Stimpy game. I love that game too.
Yeah. It also had Game Genie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was also something that was fun to bring in. My mother's in here. I love it. She said
first tangible cheat code.
Tetris on Game Boy. Yeah. Yeah, it was a whole you could just like the cheats were listed and you could just pick what you wanted. That was crazy. Who bought out
Nintendo
Sega?
did, didn't they?
I want to say Nintendo.
Pretty sure Nintendo did.
I'm trying to think of the exclusive titles.
The thing is, so the gaming rights, like the whole making the system part, Nintendo bought that out, but Sega still owns titles to
Sega games,
what they have.
Games, yeah.
So which is why was it Sega?
And I feel like was it a 2K here? All the 2K stuff wasn't that Sega originally? Because it was Dreamcast. NBA 2K1, the first one, the first 2K was a Dreamcast game.
There was.
And then I think that's originally a Sega company. And then
So Sega still owns the titles to their name, and Nintendo is very they hold things close to chest. They don't let things get out, which is why you've never seen Super Mario Brothers Funko Pops. They don't let people take those titles out. But you'd think the same thing. Why are there Sonic Pops coming out when they're owned by Nintendo? Well, Sega still owns the titles, but they let Nintendo make the games and do everything else, which is why Sega says, absolutely, we'll take the extra merchandise. You can make Funko Pops of them. That's why we don't have any Mario Funko Pops.
Interesting.
I was trying to figure out how that worked. I'm like, oh, I remember now. Sega still owns titles, and they can still produce and merchandise the stuff that they own. Why am I using my hands so much? And Nintendo owns their
no one noticed
things.
he said it.
I know, right? Now I'm looking at it.
I'm aware. Wait for it.
I'm like, I should be doing this right now.
Sega. Remember when it turned on? That was fire. So that was number 3, right?
No, number 3 from 2005, the Xbox 360.
Yeah, 360 was crazy. 360. I know I've been shitting on Xbox all day, but 360 was crazy. I just hate that.
360 fought two systems. 360 fought against two systems, the 2 and the 3 of PlayStation.
Yeah, it reigned in between both of them, yeah. So what's number 2?
From 2000, the PlayStation 2.
Crazy.
100%. I can't believe that's not number 1, honestly.
I am
being
shocked.
Dead honest with you.
It changed everything. Like it was so crazy.
The amount of insanity that was going on with people going to the store trying to get this thing at GameStops.
Yeah.
Why are we turning on this light, Harper? Trying to go to GameStops, Best Buys, because I didn't even know Best Buys were a thing back then until I watched videos on it. It was insane. Am I doing the thing with my hands again?
No, I was just laughing at the Harper. It's just the name Harper. Whenever I told you the joke before, but whenever I hear the name Harper, I think of that thing. She's
You don't
hilarious.
turn that light back on.
Yeah, Vice City that was the game.
Yeah, Vice City. Call of Duty was crazy on the 360. So was what was I thinking? 360. Oh, Gears of War. Gears of War was crazy.
Yeah. And number one, I'm actually not surprised at it.
Game Boy. Gotta be right. I haven't heard Game Boy yet.
From 1990, the Super NES.
Really?
There wasn't one handheld on that list.
There wasn't. The Switch, but like even then, it's not a true to life.
Yeah.
Handheld.
That is sad.
That is sad. They did him a disservice for the handhelds. Maybe handhelds weren't included.
Now, for them, the biggest attribute for them was the game titles. They had more than 1,700 game titles.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
AP, I think SS Tricky was on the 360 because I think Jamie said she played it on the 360.
Definitely on the PS2.
Yes. I went out and surprised Jamie with I went out and bought her the fat PlayStation 2. And I got SmackDown I got SmackDown Shut Your Mouth and SmackDown Here Comes the Pain along with SSX Tricky, and we've had the most fun playing that every now and again when we get bored of the
I could play SSS Tricky right now for 17 hours straight. That game was unbelievable.
But yeah, no, I still can't believe there's no handhelds on it because I could have sworn, the Game Boy Advance SP was so good on its own. The SP alone, because you had the flip, it was very potable. You could hide it. The battery life was good. You had great different kinds of Pokemon games on it, and they varied from all sorts. I mean, SP hold near dear spot in my heart. That's kind of sad that ain't on there.
Yeah, wow.
And the PSP, by the way, I'm glad someone said something about the PSP. People that were Xbox users that absolutely loved the Xboxes. Xbox people, for some reason, had no problem going out and buying PSPs, and they would get the PSP just so they could play MLB The Show. Because Xbox did not have rights to the show.
The show's a great game, man. They make a good game every year. One of the better sports games out.
I have owned MLB The Show since 2007 all the way to now when I realized how much I love baseball. I have never missed a year, and they get better every single year.
Yeah, they do. They add something every year.
Have y'all ever camped out to purchase a game system on release?
So not so much a full camp out, but we definitely used to do Madden parties, which is the night Madden drops. We'd be out there in line waiting for the copy to drop.
I remember that.
We had we played a whole full two-hand touch football game in a parking lot one time waiting for the game to drop. Like everybody got in line, and then we all decided, look, everybody knows where we are in line. We're gonna stay like this. Now let's go play football, and then we all play football.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fire. It was like tailgating basically. We were out there having a good old time. But I've never done an overnight for a system.
No, I have IBS, so kind of staying in line makes me nervous. So I can't do that. If it's a midnight drop, I can go exactly at midnight.
That explains the 30-minute distance thing.
Here comes the weave, Jake, if you'd say. Whenever a new Pokemon game comes out, the GameStop that's near me, they have we close at 9. Anyone that's coming for the midnight drop, come here at 9. Bring your Pokemon cards, your game systems, your games, and come here. And we're going to be trading Pokemon cards we can't sell because this is a establishment.
You can't.
You guys aren't allowed to sell amongst each other, but you guys can trade cards.
Right.
Come do Pokemon battles and whatever. My ass would show up for that shit.
That sounds like a blast, honestly.
It was so much fun.
Well, Pokemon with the cards is like the new generation's Dungeons.
It is.
I still do Dungeons and Dragons now.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast too.
It's great too because they keep it open. The owners get into it, and the workers, the managers sitting right there at the front register. Who needs a Blastoise?
Little dude, what up? Where you been, little dude? We ain't seen you in a while, man.
I know, right? Shout out to you, bro.
Absolutely, good to have you back.
What's going on? Good to see you.
I've been able to
look at the gamer girl.
I know I lucked up and got the PS2 on release. I was working at Best Buy and I won the drawing, a raffle. We camped out for the PS4, and it was crazy. He's at a Walmart, like out in the stick somewhere.
You go to a
And
place where
me
no
and
one's at.
yeah, it was me, my brother, and my son. And I want to say they had like 6, and all the rest of them were reserved.
Damn.
And we got 2 of the 6.
Hey, there you go.
They were
I
pissed,
think
but we got there like about like 8, 9 o'clock.
Did you have a lot of people there though?
A lot of people showed up. I want to say they started showing up like around about 10:30.
And how many were there while you guys were waiting?
It was the 3 of us and 1 guy in front. No, 3 of us and a father and son in front of us.
And they let you get 2? Was it like a 2 per customer thing, or were you guys 2 separate orders?
2 separate orders.
All right, so yeah, that worked out. Hell yeah. I think me and Jamie planned on going and camping out for the Switch, but we just said, "Oh, it's all right. We'll go and get it within the next 2 weeks. It'll be cool." Little did we know that they were going to be sold out for 6 fucking months. I was pissed.
And you know what was funny about that too?
What?
As we were leaving, there was a GameStop in the same parking lot with a mile-long line out there.
Oh, it's crazy.
And my brother rolled by, holding it up. We got it, boy.
People used to get like robbed on the way out of some of these campouts. At the risk of incriminating myself, me and my cousin actually stole a PS3 from a Best Buy. I went in for my birthday. I had some birthday money, bought a PS3. And on the way out, I realized that they barely even checked to see what was going on my way out. And I said it to my cousin. I'm like, yo, they ain't even check our bag. So I was like, yo, take the bag and the receipt. Just go back in there and put another PS in the bag. He was like, yeah, that's crazy. He went in and did it. He went in, he put another PS box in the bag. This is when they used to have them out. Now they don't have them out because of people like me and my cousin. And he put another PS in the bag. He had a receipt. Now, had they stopped him and scanned the receipt to the box, he'd have been done at the gate.
Right.
Yeah, they would have seen the difference.
But they weren't scanning them. They were just checking the receipt, seeing PS. All right, get out of here. Walked out with 2 PS3s. And then almost blew it because when he got out, I was like, yo! And we were both so hyped. And we were talking, and there was a lady who worked there outside having a cigarette. And we were just we were hyped. Almost blew it, but she didn't give a shit. She didn't even want to be there that day.
Nice.
She was crazy.
What did they have the games out that time too?
Well, say what?
Did they have the games out like that too?
They had games. Our receipt didn't have no game on it. We wasn't gonna risk that. We could have though. They had games out. Yeah.
That's insane.
It sounded like a nice part of town when they put everything out.
Braintree. Yeah.
Braintree
Best Buy.
Sometimes in those game drops and game system drops, they remind you how Black Fridays go, man. It's wild.
Oh, Black Friday is dangerous. Like you could get stomped on and trampled.
Yeah,
that's why I never do it. We always do the
Cyber Monday.
We go the day after because there's still some nice shit left over.
Yeah.
Sometimes some nice like 40-inch TVs or 32-inch TVs. And we'll pick up a new one for the kids sometimes. Or we'll go there and find some good clothes or some. You know, that's the year I was able to get Call of Duty for like $20 because they had so many of them. And all you had to do was look for the different colored stickers, and you knew how much you got off. I'm like,
oh, right.
This is the newest one. It's $20. Why not?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Good shit, fellas. Good shit.
Absolutely.
Who got shout outs, man?
Man, shout out to Mom Duke. She was in here. You know what I mean?
Salute.
Shout out to everybody else who joined the chat. Shout out to I like to name the MVP every night. Who tonight it was close. Tonight it was close. Jamie. It's gonna be Jamie. Yeah, Jamie.
God damn it.
Jamie MVP tonight for sure.
I was really hoping it was gonna be AP. He tore me apart.
It's close. That's who her competition was with. It was.
That's how the MVP rolls. Whoever roasts the villain more, but you can't beat the villain.
I'm pretty sure Jamie can definitely beat you.
She has before, and she'll do it again.
Yeah, she definitely will. But yeah, that's MVP of the chat tonight. Yeah, man. Shout out to you fellas. Shout out to Took. I hope his team won. Get it done. The younglings doing their thing. Oh yeah, you know what? We're gonna do that double MVPs because birthday boy, he definitely got an MVP vote for being the birthday boy. And he was in here too. So they'll have to share the MVP together today. Once again, happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. I hope our show was good enough for your birthday. And yeah, appreciate y'all for showing up.
Hey, shout out to Chris, Jamie, Chris St. Clair, Jesse, Anthony, Marie, Renee, Lil Dude, LOL. Wow, appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. Man, we're getting pretty close. We got some big coming up in about 3.5 weeks now.
Draft party.
April 27th.
I'm so hyped for the draft party. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We got people planning. I already put in my order for my food that night. We got people
what you got? What you getting?
I'm keeping it simple, man. Got a little catfish rocking, man. Little catfish.
Okay.
They're gonna give me some Jimmy John's that night.
Ooh, Jimmy John's.
Can't never go wrong with Jimmy John's.
No, you can't.
They're right there with Chick-fil-A for consistency.
Hey, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Little quick shout out for me. Shout out to my pops. It was his birthday today as well.
58
years old.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Papa. That's what's up.
Also, apologize for my extreme rants. I was just so excited to get back up on the chop.
You good.
I missed you guys. I missed the audience. I missed all you guys' comments.
Yeah.
I missed all you guys trying your best to come at the villain, but you just can't win. It be like that sometimes. But
We got a built-in heel.
Yeah, we got a built-in heel.
It was fun talking about the fish sandwiches, the game systems, places that we lived. I was kind of hoping we were going to touch on that board game subject I heard earlier, but you know what? We'll save it for another time.
I'll save it.
But yeah, like Coach said though, always like, subscribe, comment this stuff. Be excited for that draft party. Get you guys some food ordered up for that day because we are going to be on for the entire first, second, and third round. Hosted from here, call line, come-ins, all sorts of stuff. We want to hear your opinion on your team's draft pick. We need to know what you think your team did right and or wrong.
Also, one more shout out to my sister. It's her birthday today, Bella.
Yay.
Love you, Bella. Happy birthday.
Man, this is a great day. Happy birthday.
All these great people with birthdays today.
Absolutely. It's a great day. Man, this is a great show. We'll have fun.
Appreciate y'all. Tomorrow we got the number basketball show. Make sure you tune in. We're going to talk about,
a lot. We got some.
A lot.
We got some. Yeah, we got some topics to talk about tomorrow on the basketball
Is this
show.
the final week of the NBA?
regular season.
It is regular season finale, but also the tourneys both ended since the last time we've been on. So both tourneys are over. We got plenty to talk about in terms. Some stuff happened at the end of the girls' tourney that we definitely gonna talk about. So tune in tomorrow, man, because we got a fun show to go.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all. Number love. Have a good night. Peace.